We are live again. It is Thursday and it's 1 o'clock and it's time for it's time for 30 with Karen and Justin. And today we're talking about something that matters, I think, more than almost anything else. One, opportunity, but two, making sure every kid has a fair shot. I'm thrilled to introduce Marc Clare, the CEO of Halton Learning Foundation. Marc has spent over 20 years helping students across the Halton District School Board get the support that they need to succeed no matter their financial situation. I really appreciate you coming here. I know you've got meetings going on in between all this and it's busy day. So I appreciate you hopping on and getting the message out because this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a busy day, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's all
Everyone's
good.
busy, right? No big deal.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll
Why don't
make it
you
happen.
start by telling us a little bit about the Halton Learning Foundation?
Yeah, so we are a charity. We were formed by the Halton District School Board, but are independent from the school board. And we've been a charity since 2004. And we are really, our goal is to help eliminate financial barriers to education. So a barrier to education might be, a kid showing up on a minus 20-degree day without the proper boots or coats.
Right.
A barrier to learning might be a kid showing up to school with a lunch bag, but no lunch inside. A barrier to learning might be, a kid, his classmates going on this amazing trip to a museum or something, and the student doesn't want to go. "Oh, I don't want to go on that," but in fact, his family can't really afford to pay for that trip. So, schools will identify a student who might need some help, and then they can apply to us for some financial assistance. So that's how we help out.
I was actually shocked to sort of see a stat that 1 in 8 students across the Halton District School Board
Yeah,
come from low income households.
yeah,
That's mind blowing to me. We think of
yeah.
Halton, I think, as a very somewhat wealthy place, like a lovely area to live, but 1 in 8 seems like a very high number.
Yeah, it is. That is up. That most recent stat is up from previous stat we used to do, which was one in 10.
Mm.
And so, over the past several years, that's increased. So, the Hutton District School Board has about 67,000 students. So that suggests 1 in 8. That suggests about, I think it's about 12 and a half, 13% or
Jesus.
whatever that is. So that suggests, probably close to 8,000
Mm.
students are living in low-income households within the Halton District School Board.
That's mind boggling to me. So you are there for this purpose to step in these cases. Do you have any stories of students or groups that lives have been changed with relation to these things?
Yeah, for sure.
I like feel good stories.
Yeah, so about a year ago, I received an email from a teacher, a secondary school teacher, and he happens to teach students with special needs.
Mhm.
And he had a student, and she was coming to school. It was December, it was cold, and she was coming to school, and she was having a hard time concentrating on learning because she was cold and uncomfortable, and so he applied to the Halton Learning Foundation on behalf of the student, and that's the process. We provided a gift card. Typically, it's a Walmart gift card, so that the families have the dignity to be able to choose the clothing or the food or the school items that's suitable for them.
Mhm.
So the family went out and purchased a coat. And he said she came to school the next day in this beautiful pink winter coat. And she was warm and she was proud.
Yes.
And that got me to thinking, yes, that is really what Halton Learning Foundation is about, right? Where kids are feeling included, they're feeling cared for, their basic necessities are being met so that they can concentrate on learning. Because education is the foundation of success in life,
Mhm.
right?
Agreed.
And so if you are experiencing these financial barriers, that makes that more challenging to get the proper education.
What does the process look like a little bit? Because, we've had other charities on, food for kids and things like that, like Food for Life. And there's always this sort of, I don't know if it's like a shame or scare opportunity where people they don't want to ask for help necessarily. And so the process in school, in this instance, for example, in that, the teacher saw a need, reached out to you guys, does that go to the family directly for them to take care of? So the student doesn't really have a major, you know what I mean? Like understand it enough to be embarrassed by it per se, or, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and that dignity piece is so important for us, right?
Agreed.
And so in most of the cases, we don't actually have a direct contact with the student or the family, right? It's the school that is sort of the
Right. The
in
intermediary. Yeah.
between, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Intermediary. And but when we hear from the schools, from teachers, and sometimes we get notes from different families about the support and how that's impacted them.
Mm,
But yeah, it's the dignity piece is really, really important.
mhm.
And so, we're not asking the family to provide, paperwork and receipts for, pay stubs or rent receipts or anything like that. We're going on the discretion of the school to say, okay, yes, this student or this family needs help.
Right.
Sometimes, the school's already working with them. Maybe there's a social worker or a child needs counselor that's involved with the family already, getting supports from other community organizations to help them sort of navigate support systems. So the school's already aware. But sometimes, the family may end up coming forward. They
Hmm.
may come forward and say, hey, my spouse just got diagnosed with cancer. They're not
Hmm.
working. I'm not working as much because I'm taking care of them.
Hmm.
It might be an intimate partner violence situation where, a family has fled a horrible situation. They have nothing, and they need somebody to come along and help them out. It could be a newcomer family. It could be often we actually get high school students who's for some reason their family situation is broken down and they're not living at home. They're couch surfing
Hmm.
at a buddy's place,
Hmm.
right? And so yeah, there's all sorts of different scenarios that
It's very interesting to me because I remember a time I went to St. John's School in Burlington, and I remember a time when a young lad that was in our grade got in a lot of trouble for going into during recess. He would go in and steal food out of the kindergarten's lock boxes or lunch boxes
mm,
because they were the easiest accessible on the main floor at the bottom there near the door, and he got in a bunch of trouble. And in hindsight, it wasn't trouble that he needed to get in. He needed a little bit of help, is what he needed. And, it's funny because we've come full circle to a moment where we have people like you now stepping in to say, wait, 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 wait. This is a right. Like we deserve to have this. We deserve to have education. We pay for this education through our taxes and otherwise. And we deserve this. And I just think that you stepping in to fill in those gaps is so important. Food is one of the most essential things for proper learning. Like we got
mhm.
to be honest, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. Now someone texted me, actually Nelson texted me, let's be honest, and said, you got to ask him about the CAP club. So tell me about, there you go. Tell me about the CAP club.
All right, the Cat Club. So there the organizations, the charitable organizations in the Halton community and Burlington community, a lot of us have got to know each other quite well
Mhm.
by attending, similar events and, supporting each other. There's once a month, there's a group of CEOs and executive directors who get together and share, discussions around what we're doing and how we can support each other. And so, Nelson Borges from Capillary Wave and another CAP Club member is O'Neill Edwards from Compassion Society. We often wear caps at some of these events. And so we've started an informal CAP club. Anyone is welcome. You just come, to one of these events, wear your cap.
Mhm.
And anyways, it's just
is
kind of tongue in
is
cheek
it a
thing.
specific type of cap? I think I need to know,
Well, I
or
mean, the ones that Nelson wears and O'Neill wears are similar in style
to
to
that.
what
Yes,
I'm
yes,
I'm wearing here, right? So
yes. Very good.
um, It's kind of fun, and it's become a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing with some of our other colleagues who haven't quite joined the CAP club yet, but they almost say, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without your cap."
Yeah, that's funny. That
Anyway,
happened.
so
No,
it's
it's
yeah,
funny. We say that about hockey players all the time when we see all the
yeah,
kids on the ice. I didn't recognize you without your helmet on.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
funny. So with so many charities out there, how does your organization approach fundraising and building community support and sort of breaking through the noise?
Yeah, well, I mean, for us, it's telling the story, right?
Mhm.
It's telling these, beautiful pink coat stories to people to let them know about what we are doing. And if it's something that resonates with their heart,
Mhm.
then amazing. We would love to, chat further and if, there's an opportunity for financial support, then that would be fantastic as well. I mean, we are entirely funded through donations from the community. We won't receive any funding through the ministry or through the school board. Our office that I'm in now is an in-kind donation through the school board.
Mhm.
But we don't receive any financial support directly from the school board or from the ministry. So it is all entirely donations. And revenue wise, sometimes it's individuals, sometimes it's corporations, sometimes it's granting foundations.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's people have done something in the community, some sort of event in the community, and they donated proceeds. Golf tournaments,
Mhm.
lemonade stands.
Mhm.
Right now is HLF month, Halton Learning Foundation month. And so we are encouraging school communities and the broader community to do something on behalf of HLF to help, raise awareness, help raise funds. I mean, there's groups that are doing, rock, paper, scissors tournaments, or there's, somebody's doing a yoga class.
Mhm.
Somebody up in Acton is doing a euchre tournament on Saturday the 25th.
Cool.
I'm doing a 100K bike ride, Tour de Halton bike ride, as sort of my contribution to HLF month. And so, yeah, it's about bringing community together and, if what we are doing to support education and students it resonates with people, then yeah, we'd love to chat with you further.
I mean, certainly like opportunities are endless. This feels really grassroots, though. It feels really cool, like really engaging the community to allow them to help because the community is helping themselves by doing this, basically, which is really cool. How do you measure whether HLF is really leveling the playing field for students out there?
Hmm. Yeah, so we are, we certainly have some stats out there. Last year we helped almost 3,700 students across Halton.
Wow,
Um,
it's amazing.
which is amazing.
Yeah,
And what else is amazing is that the year before it was 3,000, and the year before that was 2,000. So it's been a
increasing.
huge increase, right? And so that it's good that we're there,
Mm.
but it also poses a challenge because we're entirely funded through donations. And the other way that we measure that is the feedback we get from the schools and the notes that we get um, from parents. And if you're okay, I have a little note here
By all
that
means,
from
yeah.
a parent. Is that okay?
Yes, of
So
course.
this particular mother of four, just took the brave step of leaving an abusive situation,
Mhm.
and and that can be a real challenge for people, right? And the weight of providing for four children, trying to find safety, and getting settled, that can be a heavy burden. And
Can
so
I just
this,
add to that? I just read a stat the other day that raising a child from 0 to 18
yes,
costs you somewhere in the range of $250,000.
only
So
only a quarter million.
only, yeah,
Yeah, okay,
times how many kids?
yeah, yeah. And so this is this family received some emergency assistance from us. And so this is the note from her. It says, "This gift truly means so much to me. As a single mother of four, moving away from my abuser has been incredibly stressful. This will go a long way in helping me provide for my children and will make a real difference in our lives." And so, when we look at that assistance, yes, there was financial relief there. But, providing peace of mind during a time that was filled with uncertainty for her, helping to cover some of those essential needs and allowing her family, a chance to, take a little bit of a breath, regroup, begin their journey of toward healing. Um, we can't do that unless we have donors from the community showing compassion and empathy for families like this. And so, this family was met with care and dignity and support when they needed it most. And so we very much appreciate our donors and our community members who are friends of the foundation for supporting situations like this, right? We can't do it without you.
No, completely. Yes. Understood. Yeah. No. And that's a beautiful little story there too. That's unreal. I'm always fascinated by, people like yourself that choose industries like this that are so helpful. We live in a world right now where there's a lot of animosity and a lot of,
Yeah.
butting heads in communities and different things and government and all kinds of things. And, we've got someone like you that has put yourself in a position for 20 plus years to be literally out there helping others,
Mhm.
in front of themselves, which is very interesting. So I just was curious, like, what does the path look like for Mark to end up here? Like, what were the steps? Like, was it university? Is it, and
Uh,
what was it that led you down this
yeah,
road?
that is an interesting question, Justin. So I guess my entrance into the charitable world started back at the YMCA teaching basketball
In
and
Burlington?
in Burlington at the
Cool.
Burlington Y.
I
Yeah.
frequented that Y.
You know what, Justin? I know you did
Well,
because
do you know me from there? Like,
I think I remember you
oh,
from
there you
back in
go.
the basketball days, like the probably early 90s, early mid 90s.
Yeah, for sure. I would have been in my teenage years back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's funny.
So
I
so then
actually fractured my ankle in the YMCA basketball court.
oh boy, it wasn't my
I
fault.
no blame, no blame. I did a layup and then took two
Yeah.
steps and jumped off the wall behind. And then when I
Man.
landed off that, I rolled my ankle and fractured it. I was in a cast for 8 weeks and it
There
was
you go.
awful.
Wow.
But there you go. There's my YMCA
There you
memory.
go.
Cheers.
So yeah, so that was the start of it, right? And I went to school to be a teacher and ended up doing some supply teaching. But at the time they were actually laying off teachers. So I got
Right.
in full time with the YMCA,
Right.
doing employment type programs for youth. Worked at the Waterdown YMCA as the child and youth manager guy for a number of years. Had a few tours at, the Hamilton Y and the Burlington Y again. And Brantford Y was the center manager there, had some fundraising roles. And yeah, and then just kind of got into this education foundation world. And yeah, it's interesting is that many of my colleagues, their path is not straight. Hey, I want
Mm.
to be a charity leader.
I was going to say, it's not like
That's not what happens, right?
that's not a
No,
university course.
no. And so often it's these twists and turns that that people encounter,
Mm.
life decisions that happen that kind of you kind of find your way here, right? And I'm really glad that the path that I followed is where I am. And but yeah, you don't sort of go into this thinking, yeah, I'm going to be a charity leader.
No, and I find some of them even, like life altering moments push them down that road, right?
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
there's a few charities we've talked to on this very show where, someone has lost a child and
yeah,
therefore someone has started a charity around it and here
yeah,
we go and
yeah.
it creates good out of the loss, which is very interesting. But
Mhm.
no, I just I always stop for a moment and look at folks like you and I say thank you. Like I'm sure you probably get thanks enough around your world, but genuinely like thank you because putting yourself in this position is helping so many more people. Like, and it's as much as I'm sure you're making money doing what you're doing personally, there is a probably a satisfaction in the helping of others and the engagement in the community, which I think is the most noble thing on the planet.
Thank you.
I
I
love it. So
appreciate
I
that.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, as we start to kind of hit the end of our half hour here, give me some thoughts on how people can help, how people can donate. Is there volunteer opportunities? What are we looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned HLF month earlier, so a
Yep,
great opportunity for
sure.
people to get involved. Um, help create awareness, help, raise some funds. We have a platform that if somebody wanted to set up their own little walkathon kind of thing, or they wanted to, if their business wanted to, donate a portion of proceeds from cookie sales for the week or something like that,
Hmm.
it's easy to do, right?
Cool.
And yeah, that, anything like that would be amazing. If there are young people out there that want to get involved in helping out, we've got posters that we would love to distribute to different businesses. So there's a volunteer opportunity for a young person if they wanted to do that. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got all sorts of community members that are involved with providing some leadership to our HLF month committee, and they're reaching out to their connections and their networks and spreading the word. So anything related to that would be super amazing. And I think the great thing about this too is there are businesses that are they're just kind of getting by, right? And so maybe don't necessarily have the financial capacity to make a donation. That's
Hmm.
okay. But if you could help create awareness
Hmm.
about HLF and HLF month,
Hmm.
that would be fantastic. Um, and then there are some sponsorship opportunities for some of the events that we have coming up as
Talk
well.
to me about those events. Is there anything upcoming that
Yeah.
we can look
So
at?
so I mentioned the Tour de Halton. So this is the third year that I'm gonna ride 100+ kilometers with a few other folks. We're gonna start up in Acton.
Mhm.
We're going to visit some schools and go to Georgetown, Milton, Oakville, and Burlington. So we've got some sponsorship opportunities related to that. And then at the end of the month, April 29th, is our Students in the Spotlight events, our culminating event for HLF month. It's happening at Burlington Central High School.
Cool.
It's our third year doing it. We had over 150 students submit auditions for this event. And
Wow.
so we had a group of community volunteers that helped to kind of narrow that down. And so we have 20 acts performing live on stage, singers, dancers, spoken word, choirs, groups, rock bands, everything. And so yeah, we're going to be in the auditorium at Burns Central High School. They had a great auditorium there.
Hmm.
And then new this year, we actually have an art exhibition. So we have 50 students who are going to be displaying their art as part of the Students in the Spotlight event as well. So,
Wow.
yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And yeah, we're April 29th, from 6 to 7. The art exhibition will happen, and then enter intermission. And then from 7 to about 9:30 is the stage performances. So we're
You
really
know what
looking
I
forward.
love about this is you're actually engaging the students to help them help give back, which is
Yeah,
really, really cool. I
yeah,
think that's the
yeah,
biggest thing, right?
yeah.
It's funny because I think back to that story I told earlier, and if my 13 or 12-year-old brain had figured out what was going on back then, maybe I would have sort of put some time into thinking about how to help. But you just don't think about it the same
Yeah.
way about
Yeah.
when you're that young. But you're actually engaging these students to kind of walk them through the process of like, this is how you can help the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Create a piece of art or step on stage and do a song and
Yeah.
use your talent to create good for the world, which I
Yeah.
think is the really cool element of this thing. So,
Yeah.
um, all of that is going to be put in links below. We're going to throw the website link and all the details below. We really appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure talking to people that do so much for our community here because if you can't take care of the people at home, how are you going to take care of your life in the world in general? So I appreciate everything you do, and certainly our community appreciates you, I'm sure.
Well,
So
you're very welcome. And um, I enjoy what we do. It's challenging.
mhm.
Um, but hearing some of the stories like I shared earlier, That's the hook. That's what keeps you,
right?
motivated
Yeah.
keeping moving forward and doing the work that we're doing. So, and thank you for this opportunity to come and have a great chat with you and relive our YMCA days
I had a lot of good memories from that place, man.
and
We had a
talk
lot of fun. So
talk about the Cat Club as
I'll be
well.
sure to maybe try to figure out next time. All right, Mark, I appreciate you. And thanks everyone for watching and listening. It has been a good one. And help us out. Donate a little bit of money. Let's step out of our comfort zone and do something fun for the spring. All right, everyone.
Amazing.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks, folks. Have a great day.